can see the hate, I can see the lies. See it in your face, read it out your eyes. Why they watching me? They got their eyes on me. Why they watching me? They got their eyes on me. They want it while I get it. They losing while I'm winning. These the rules of the game. You playing in your eyes, I can see you hating. Why they watching me? They got their eyes on me. Why they watching me? They got their eyes on me.
Are they watching? I see them. They hate cause it just can't be him. But don't fly like a desert eagle. So don't give me that reason.
So many. There's so many.
Oh my god, so many things.
When he spits, when he's around me and he spits.
Oh my gosh.
Playing video games and expecting women to do jobs around the house when you're more than capable of doing them yourself, like cleaning, for example.
It's just not thinking about you and like how their actions impact you.
Obviously, when he will pick arguments in front of other people, and I would never accept that. And yeah, there's time and place for everything. But mainly spitting, that's my biggest issue.
A man does. To be honest, I think it's sometimes it's just like little things, like just like forgetting to like text back or something like that. So that's like I think that's a lot of girls' pet peeves, and I genuinely feel it as well sometimes. I'm really hot on this. Yeah, with girls, I would say for me, it's okay to just text back and just be like, oh, I'm busy. Do you know what I mean? Even if you are busy, that's fine. Just, I'm busy, I'll text you later. That's how I feel.
Long fingernails. If they're longer than mine are pretty short, then yeah, that's a bit of a red flag. I don't think that should be a thing. Yeah, so yeah, definitely that.
I think one of the biggest ones is when you're having a decent conversation and then the guy's like, do you know what? I'm just not going to reply for like 7 hours to see if you still want me. And it's like, no. Like, if you want to talk to me, just talk to me. Don't go off and like chill for like 7 hours because you're not doing anything in those 7 hours. You're just watching your phone.
Can I say next question?
Is this being recorded?
I've got to be careful how I answer these, don't I?
Fucking hell. My girlfriend is next door. Better keep it quiet.
What do I hate? It's got to be like how different they are to men. Like they're so, because we're so different to them. They're so to us. They're like a bit complex, and I think sometimes they can take stuff to heart. I don't know, a bit too much. Or like for example, yeah, a man, us three could have a massive argument, huge, and then 10 minutes later, we're best mates, chilling, playing FIFA or whatever. But a girl would remember that somehow. In 2 years' time, she goes, "Do you remember the time we did this?" When you're arguing, stuff like that actually winds me up.
One thing that I don't know, man. There's loads.
I think it's a girl that craves for attention. A girl that craves for attention, I don't like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
There is quite a few things that like. Sometimes it can be like the neediness. Sometimes it's like kind of cute, but sometimes when you want to be on with the boys, do you know what I mean, on the Xbox or whatever, then it's like. But probably not telling us what they really want. Like, I don't know, we're not mind readers, us lads. We can try and guess as much as possible, but tell us what you really want, and we can actually do our best to try and help you in wherever we can, or give you whatever we can, our time, or, do you know what I mean? Just tell us, and we can do our best from there.
Not make their mind up when it comes to like eating, like just anything like, at home or at places. Like my girlfriend's so typical of this. I'm like, oh, what do you want for dinner? Like, where do you want to eat? Like, oh, I don't mind. Up to you. I don't mind. Like,
accuse you of doing shit when you haven't even done it.
oh wait, am I allowed to swear on this or?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. just checking.
Just the fact they run on sometimes. They just talk a bit too much sometimes.
Just fucking decide.
Accuse you of cheating when you clearly haven't. And you literally don't do nothing. You don't have a life. Your life is go to work and then come home. Or go see them.
You're right.
That's hit home, that has.
So Liam, what did you think about the last episode?
I thought it was good. It was good to get everyone's different opinions, especially our conversation at the end. I thought that was really good. Are you still standing by the no?
Yeah, after watching it, I'm still standing by the no. I'm not someone that changes my opinion, but it's funny that you said that because after the podcast was released, I actually got a phone call from a female that is a friend. I can say is a friend, but again, I don't think the term is used correctly. Asking to congratulate me, and then she went on about certain things about her life, and we talked, and she said she likes to have a conversation with me, and I know she's very much in love with her boyfriend, and nothing would happen ever between us. And I did feel like a hypocrite at the end because we just recorded that episode, and then I get a phone call and I start talking to her about certain things. Yeah, but my opinion didn't change still. But yeah, so now we're gonna do an episode about the other question that we asked the people that we did invite for the podcast and the ones that said yes to us. What don't you like about the opposite sex? So Liam, what don't you like about the opposite sex?
Mate, the thing is, this is going to get us in trouble. To be fair, my first point, one of them is the biggest thing that probably annoys me the most is when it's a massive thing with social media. So when girls compare themselves, and I see it even when I'm doing PTing, and some people, you know, they come to me with a goal, and they want to look like this celebrity, and they can definitely look like that, but they then compare themselves a lot beyond the normal, and it's like that upsets me because what these people on social media, like the Kim Kardashian and all the top end celebrities, they do go through so much work under the table, you know, all the lip fillers and all that sort of stuff, and I think it becomes sort of, an obsession, and I think it sometimes becomes quite unhealthy, and it affects a lot of girls' mental health, and I think that is something which annoys me what girls do, because it don't make me feel too good when you have to witness that. What are your thoughts on that?
Do you think men are a bit like that as well nowadays?
You know what, I think so. I think a lot more now than a couple of years ago. I see it more when I was doing my competing process. I was always on my social media, and when I was competing, the whole idea is you're being compared to someone else, and that is the whole thing. So every time I'm going on to my social media and I'm seeing guys that are doing the same shows I'm doing or similar shows, I'm constantly looking at it like, well, they're 2 weeks out. I look like this 4 weeks out. Oh, I need to look better, or oh, I'm on point. And you do get like that, and it's very hard to get yourself out of that. So that was quite difficult. So yeah, I think guys, do you do that?
Oh no, right. For me, the only competition I have is against myself. But to be honest, I never put myself in the competition that you have. But then again, if I did, I think I would be there just to celebrate myself and congratulate me for the gains that I got and how much I've changed myself to get to that position. I never compare myself to anyone. I'm very happy the person I am now because I know how I was when I was 15 years old and how much I've changed and how much I am and how much I admire how I am now. I truly like myself, and even if I have a flaw, I am capable of recognizing that and saying, okay, I need to improve this. I'm very harsh on myself, but I'm very protective of myself as well. So I wouldn't do that to myself, no. But I do understand that a lot of people do, especially if they are in a gym environment where it is you always trying to better yourself, and you see certain people bettering themselves, and why I'm not like them, or I want to be like them. It's a conflict. It's a constant conflict inside of you. I do understand that, but yeah, I don't do that to myself.
So what's something else that females do that annoys you or upsets you, or?
Well, we do have to go through it, don't we? We have to talk about this. So I put a list.
I wasn't even expecting that.
No, okay.
That's what you were doing when I was on the computer. No.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to say it, because I wanted to get your reaction.
Oh my god.
But for me, what I don't like about Avail said, look, at the end of the day, I'm someone that I have my opinions very formulated because I think about these things. I know I do have a lot of flaws as well, and it's not easy to see me to for example, to be in a relationship with me. I'm a very hard person, and when I have my opinions, I stick by them, and I don't easily change them. But then again, it makes me realize as well what I don't like about the opposite sex, and I can actually say is one of the things is not making their mind up. It's very hard for them. I think someone actually says that on the podcast where I interviewed them, and that's for me, it's one of them. One of the things that upsets me is when we are going to get food and she says she doesn't want anything, and then she started eating my chips.
I can feel that one. Because if I'll ask you, what do you want? Nothing. Okay, so when I order what I'm asking you what you want, because when I'm ordering what I want to order, I want to eat that, and I'm asking you what you want because I don't want you to touch what I have.
Yeah, because I ask that for me. I'm imagining that chips from the beginning to the end to be mine. And when someone steals one chip, it's not the same thing. It has ruined my food. I'd rather go buy another pack of chips, and even if you don't finish it, I'll help you finish. I just say what you want. Don't say you don't want something and then you steal from me. That's stealing. And I'm very emotional about my food.
Do you know what, leading on to that, another thing is like, do you know if you're picking a film or something to watch and they let you decide?
Oh my god.
And that, to me, I'm taking that as, I'm going to watch what I want to watch then. I've given you some options, now you pick. Okay, and I'll put like Fast and Furious on or something, and then they're like, oh, this is crap film. This is boring, can we change it? And I'm like, but now we're halfway through the film, I don't want to change it, I want to finish the film.
Yeah, and same thing, when you go and get food, and like you pick up your girl and you say, look, where do you want to go eat? And they say, oh, anywhere. And you say, okay, let's go Chiquitos. And she goes, oh no, not that. And I'm like, okay, Bell'Italia. Oh no, not that. And it's like, holy shit, you only know what you don't want, isn't it? You don't know what you want, but you know what you don't want. And it's hard, it's funny. It's the perks of a relationship. It's funny, but it annoys me sometimes. Yeah.
I think, you know, like, us guys get such a bad reputation for not communicating. And sometimes I feel like the girls are the same. So one of the examples is, the biggest one is when you sort of go, are you okay? They go, I'm fine. And I know they're not, so I ask again, are you sure? Nah, I'm fine, I'm absolutely fine. And then an hour down the line, this happened, you didn't ask me, you weren't bothered, blah, blah. And I'm like, I definitely did. That's something that winds me up, because I feel like you should be able to tell me what you want, or tell me, so like the whole picking the film thing, just tell me what you want. If you don't want to watch that film, just tell me, and I will pick something else, or I will act a different way. It's as simple as that. So that's something that pisses me off.
One of the things as well is sometimes they, but to be honest, like a lot of men could do that as well, is hide, don't say the complete truth. It's like they tell you half the truth, they don't really tell you what actually happened. So kind of, that for me is still lying. And then is in a situation when something happens to them, everything is normal, and when this situation happens to you, you are the worst man in the world. That upsets me as well. And one of the things is that upsets me and is hard to understand is the lack of consistency. A lot of women make decisions out of emotions, and then they don't follow through. Like, you have a conversation, okay, let's do this, and they are okay, they are in an okay environment, they say okay, and then 2 days later they call you, no, I don't want to do this like this anymore, or I don't want to do this differently. And you're like, well, you just said something else 2 weeks ago, and then just because they're bored, they change their minds up. It's decisions, a lot of the decisions are made emotionally. But this is my experience. It's like, not every woman is like that, of course, and some are more than others. But these are the things that I would pick that really upset me. And one leaning onto that, the lack of consistency, is saying a woman wants a man that knows what he wants, and a man that is driven. But you, to be that person, you need to put a lot of hours to something that you're doing. And then they get upset for you not making them their first priority. But they want still a man that is driven and want things. And then they get upset, and they even, sometimes it can ruin certain relationships because you're trying to be better and you're dedicating so much of yourself to a job or to something else. And then, oh, but you're not doing these stuff for me. It's like, well, you know how long these things take to learn, to do, and how much I need to invest in this. And then they even delay your process of progressing or being a better person because you need to give that attention to them. But then again, if you were not a driven man, and then you would be doing all the things that they want and just dedicating yourself completely out to them, they don't want a man like that. They would say you are just too romantic or too mushy, or you don't have no goals in your life. So it's like, can't you see that even for us to be somewhere, I need to be this person? And a lot of the times that you fight is for your future family or for you guys to enjoy as a couple. And women a lot of times don't know how to support men because it's all about how they feel and, oh, I'm not your priority, not giving me enough attention. But then again, this comes on men sometimes need to express themselves in the right way and be assertive and say, this is what we need to do, and he needs to find someone that is mentally capable of understanding these things. Let's say a strong woman would never have these kind of issues, but I know a lot of women that they just think on short term. But if you pick a strong partner, I don't think this is a massive issue.
That kind of leads on to the other side of it when we're going to speak about what we think the women don't like that us men do. And I know that not giving enough attention, I can be guilty of that. And that's because I'm one of these, I'm so committed to my work, I'm so committed to the gym, my business, the other things that we have on the side, like the podcast and setting this all up, and the amount of time that I've taken out to do these things. I mean, now it's easy because of the lockdown, but you know, when I'm back at work and I'm doing 12, 13 hours at the gym and I'm still training, and then I've got this to fit in on the side, and then I've still got time with family and friends I need to fit in, it's very hard for me to give as much attention as most people would like. And I think that is a big thing that a lot of women struggle with the guys. They don't give them enough attention. But I feel like if they're doing things for the right reasons, they're not just sat on their Xbox and, you know, not reply for 4 or 5 hours, that's a different story. And it comes down to what you're saying about the strong person. They would always want a guy to know what they want. And if it's something to do with their career, then I think that should be perfectly fine.
So, yeah, I completely agree with you. Like, look, only this week, since Monday, we have been doing, and today is what, Thursday? We've been doing this. We already spent probably almost 30 hours on doing this podcast, and this takes a lot because we're learning. We're trying to edit videos. We're trying to learn what is the best way of doing stuff, and it takes a lot. And people might say, "Oh, it's not a career," but you don't know how things go. We just having fun at the moment. We don't know where this could lead us. And how beautiful would it be you having someone and supported you and understand that you actually doing something good? What did they rather you being just at home and playing games? You actually doing something that you can be proud of, even if this doesn't take you anywhere. This is something that would be on YouTube, and you can show your kids in the future and say, look what that did. It's a memory. It's something useful, even if it doesn't lead you anywhere.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't someone support you on being better? I don't understand. And these things are, I don't know. But yeah, so you want to go into what women think?
So yeah, the first one was obviously we kind of went over that part. They're not given enough attention. I think stubbornness. I think us guys are very stubborn. I know you are.
No.
Massively. I think I am, but you're. I've never met someone as stubborn as you.
I'll take it as a compliment.
There you go. Point proven. And communication, and I know it comes down to the whole like the mental health side of things. Guys do really struggle to communicate as well as most of the time compared to women. I know I'm someone that I find it hard to communicate. I feel like sometimes I'll say something and I'll expect you to know, so the answer I give you is very short, but realistically I'm expecting you to know what I already know, so then you're a bit confused on what I'm actually doing or where I actually am, because I've just gone, oh, I'm at the gym, but I've not told you I'm at the gym till this time, so I'll meet you after or whatever. I've just gone, yeah, I'm at the gym today. And then that side of things is just a lack of communication, which I can see a lot of girls and females getting pretty pissed off of that.
Yeah, this is understandable. It's like, well, you said two things there. The first one I was really stubborn, and no, I'm not. No, and I. It's very hard. I know it's very hard. When I make my opinion, it's very hard for me to change my opinion, because if I did make an opinion, it's because I already thought a lot about it. But then again, I'm someone also that has an open mind and likes to listen. And if I don't know everything about the situation, I can change my mind. And the other situation that it is understanding, like what makes a good teacher is when he's trying to explain something and he needs to understand that the student doesn't know what he knows. So he has to make a really good point and try to make that person understand. And this is what we actually don't learn in school, is actually how to express ourselves. Because I can say, I know what I'm thinking, and I can just say a few words, but you still don't understand where I'm coming from. And this is where men and women, they're from two different worlds in a way, they struggle with communication. And yeah, it's just, for me it's like, just ask me more questions if you're not understanding where I'm coming from. Ask me.
We're very yes, no.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
no.
Yeah.
But a woman's very like, oh, why, and a man, we're very like, that's why you get the terms, men are like dogs and women are like cats.
100%.
You tell a dog to sit and it just sits. It's very instruction based, but our cat's more emotional, isn't it?
And resentful.
Yeah. But yeah, no, is there anything else you feel like we do that piss women off? I feel like I've covered mine.
Man, I think, at the end of the day, I think we are a big part of the issue as well, with lack of communication. We are not perfect, and but I can just say, if women listen to me all the time, everything would be alright. I don't know.
It's so much easier.
Yeah. No, the thing is, not being funny is it's hard. It's I never dated a man, so I don't know how hard it is to be with a man.
Yeah.
But I think we are beings that we are a bit more practical, and women. Well, that's why they are so good in so many other things that we're not, yeah, it's really hard, man. It's really hard to. I don't know what I could do better to. When you're looking in retrospective and trying to understand where a man lacks, I do agree that we're not the same as women. As simple as that. The things that we complain is the things that they will tell us that. For example, we say they talk too much. They say we don't talk too much.
It's so easy.
It's just like that. It's like I'm complaining that they don't make their mind up. They can complain that I don't come with ideas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's simple as that. It's like
the whole thing with me saying like it's just got out of my head, mate. It's completely gone out of my head. The communication thing.
Yeah.
It's as easy as them just to say, well, we shouldn't have to ask you questions. I want you to ask me questions so you can.
Yeah.
If I haven't given you enough information, just ask me questions and I can give you more information. For me, it's just like, oh, just ask me more questions. But for them, it's like, well, you should have just told me more.
Yeah.
So it's always going to be that like in between, and it's going to be difficult. But no, I think I've pretty much covered everything.
I just think people should invest more in protecting a relationship and trying to. Instead of wasting so much time trying to getting to know new people and investing so much in, for example, an app like Tinder, try to actually be with someone that they think they are a good person, and invest on learning more about that person and try to invest in a way of having a better communication. But then again, the man needs to be leaning on to be a better person, and a woman being knowing how to express yourself, and a man knowing how to actually talk and listen. And that is where we struggle as well. For example, I struggle with that as well, because I do know how to listen when I want, but when I'm upset, I don't listen to anything. And this is something that I've been trying to work. I'm getting a lot better, but when I was young, I wouldn't listen to anyone. But I'm trying to get better. And this is what I think both genders need to change. But yeah, leaning on to that, there's nothing wrong against women. You have nothing wrong against women, have you?
No. I just think there's no matter what side you're on, there's always going to be things that the man does that annoys a woman, and what a woman does that annoys a man. And it's such easy solutions to fix, but I think it's just going to be one of them. Unless you're in a relationship with that person and you're able to express that to them, then it's always going to be an issue.
Yeah, I just think stop pointing fingers and start talking, man. It's
simple as
that. And no one is right at the end of the day. And I think it's even then that says a man and a woman is trying to say the same thing, but they're not understanding each other. And this is so true as well.
Yeah.
It's like I had an argument once with a girl. I think she was I don't know if we worked together or not, but I remember we were having an argument, and I was saying, we are saying the same thing. And we were having an argument. And I was like, I'm on your side. We're just saying the same thing. You're just saying it differently.
Yeah, expressing it differently.
And it's funny, but what can we say more? It's life.
We're all complicated.
Don't get upset, girls. We don't hate you.
Why they watching me? They got their eyes on